How about you? Shab Eblanti Positive GMS. I'm now Allah continue in this video. Let's go right to 2 Corinthians 5:15. Going into the fiery trial, which is the trial. I'm gonna go to 2 Corinthians 5:15. He that died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again. Now the last scripture I read, let me go back. Was 1 Corinthians 10:38. And he that 10 verse 38 and 39, I'm gonna go right to the point. He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So if you find your life, you're going to lose it. If you lose your life, you're going to find it. So he that seeketh to find his life in this world is going to lose your life. You find your life in the world. In other words, you're seeking to enjoy the things that this world has to offer. The worldly benefits. The things that are hollow, meaning empty. Frail, meaning weak. Things that are fleeting, they're here 1 minute, going the next, meaning they're temporary. If you're trying to find those things, you're going to lose your life, meaning what? You won't inherit the kingdom. You're going to perish. But if you lose your life for the Lord's sake, you're going to find it. I mean, if you lose your life in this world, you're going to find your life in the kingdom of heaven. The life that you're going to inherit is going to be everlasting life. You're going to live, and you're going to live more abundantly. And going to 2 Corinthians 5:15, and he that died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves. Those are the ones that are losing their life for the Lord's sake. You're losing your life for the Lord's sake, meaning you're rejecting the things of this world. You're rejecting the things that this world tells you to pedestalize, the things that this world tells you to value, the thing that this world tells you has worth. Wanting to be famous, wanting to be popular. All of that stuff is fleeting. It's here 1 minute, going next. Seeking to have those things. If you deny those things, that's an example of you losing your life for the Lord's sake. And you're going to find it. You're going to inherit the kingdom. And that's us not living into ourselves. In other words, we aren't living into our own pleasures. We're not living to please our own flesh. We're living what? But unto him which died for them and rose again. We're living to please the one that died for us and rose again, which is talking about Yahushua. That's what we're supposed to do. And a lot of people can't do that. You know? A lot of people can't reject this world. You know, guys that was in Israel, you know, these guys wanted to be, you know, producers and be among rappers. You know, them guys all fell out. But that's the mentality of a lot of these dudes. You know, they're not really in it for the long haul. You know, they want to be a part-time Israelite. Have 1 foot in the truth, 1 foot in the world. It don't work that way. This is part of the fiery trial. Part of that fiery trial is you rejecting all of your own pleasures. But it's a battle because we're in the flesh. But then because we're in the flesh don't mean you're supposed to give over unto the flesh. That's just being wicked. And that's an excuse. Yeah, well, you know, we're in the flesh. Just because we're in the flesh don't mean you're supposed to give over to the lust of the flesh. You know? If you feel that demon coming over you, you're supposed to fight it. Pray to the Most High. Fast if you got to. So you're supposed to live unto him which died for us, but is Yahushua. You're supposed to live by the fruits of the Spirit, not the lust of the flesh. Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. Let's see if we can get some insight in that word deny. Maybe give us some insight.
Strong's G 533.
Aparneomai. To deny, to affirm that one has no acquaintance or connection with someone, to forget oneself, to lose sight of oneself and one's own interests. That's denying. To deny utterly, to abjure, to affirm that one has no connection with the person. So there you go. To affirm that one has no acquaintance or connection with someone, to forget oneself, to lose sight of oneself and one's own interests. So when we deny ourselves, we're denying our own self-interest. We're denying any acquaintance or any connection with our own selves, meaning with the flesh. We're denying any acquaintance. We're denying any connection with fulfilling the lust of the flesh. We deny that. We deny all the things that we want. And lust of the flesh, meaning what? The things that are pleasing to us in this world. Because the flesh once was opposite of the spirit. So everything that's spiritual, the flesh is the opposite of that. Things that are spiritual involves what? Faith, humility, charity, goodness, peace. The flesh deals with what? Hatred. The flesh deals with what? Pride. Or like the pride of life that the scriptures speak about. Murder. These are the things that deal with the flesh, and you can read about that in the book of Galatians when it speaks about the lust of the flesh and the fruits of the spirit. So then see how it shine to the disciples. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So you got to deny yourself and take up the Lord's cross and follow him. I'm going to go to the word cross. But the word cross is a representation of what the Lord was crucified on. He was crucified on the cross. So an example of us taking up our cross and following the Lord is carrying or bearing the burden that comes with this truth. And the burden that comes with the truth is you got to deny your flesh. But it's a burden because being that we're in the flesh, sometimes you're going to seek to please the flesh. So that right there is a burden. But you got to take up that cross and you got to follow him. You got to deal with all of the tribulation that comes with this truth. You got to deal with all of the temptation. It's not written, when thou cometh to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. The book of Sirach, chapter 2, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus. There you go. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So if you try to save your life, you're going to lose it. What do you mean save?
Strong's G 4982. Sozo.
To save, keep safe and sound. To rescue from danger or destruction. See that? That's a perfect example right there. Okay, let me see. It says to save, keep safe and sound, to rescue from danger or destruction. So if you're trying to save your life, you're trying to keep your life safe and sound, to rescue it from danger or destruction. In other words, you want to preserve your life in this world. You want to preserve your life in this world. You want to, I want to be successful. I want to be famous. I want to be loved by everybody. That's an example of what? That is an example of trying to save your life. And right here it says to deliver or protect, literally or figuratively. So there you go. Let's go back. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So what do you profit if you gain the whole world and lose your own soul? What do you gain if you get the whole world and lose your soul? What is it that you gain? What is it that you benefit if you gain the benefits of this world? Things that are hollow, meaning empty, frail, meaning weak, fleeting, they're here 1 minute, going next, meaning they're temporary, but then you lose your soul in the process, something that's far more valuable. You're losing something that's far more valuable than what it is that you gain. Okay? For the son of, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? What can you give in exchange for your soul? You can't give anything in exchange for your soul. It's your soul. It has a great value. What can you give in exchange for that? Nothing. Nothing. You can't give anything in exchange for your soul. So there's nothing that you can give up. There's nothing that you can gain in this world that's going to be equal to your soul. So why would you seek to gain anything in this world? Because it's in exchange for your soul. Why? Because your soul won't be delivered. And your patience possesses your souls. So a person that's impatient is not gonna fight to fulfill the lust of the flesh. Fight against the desire to fulfill the lust of the flesh in the hopes of obtaining the kingdom. A person that's not patient, that's impatient, is going to say, forget that. And they're not even going to seek to fight against the lust of the flesh. They're going to seek to fulfill it. Okay? They're going to seek to fulfill it. That's an example of them giving something in exchange for their soul. They're basically giving up the spirit, just giving up the benefits of the spirit to fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay? So with that, I'm going to close on that. And see you to next video. Shalom.